How comfortable do you feel when you do the Eads and stuff?
Nervous.
Nervous? Because you don't feel good with the pattern? Yeah. Your patterns, that blues pattern that we're working on, that pattern can, if you move it, it relates to whatever key you're in. It's cool, man. It's real basic too, man. You got to it.
The way this youth program began, the Fender Company and Bonnie Raitt had a program where they were donating guitars. And when we found out about it, we made sure we were in on it. 12 guitars were donated. And that began the program. What it's designed to do is not only introduce young people who are incarcerated to the arts, but also the ability for them to continue their arts education when they are released. Because when these kids are released, that's when it's really rough.
And this thing you can use as painting, to make like a set, like a backdrop for it. So you're kind of creating the character, you're telling a story. So when you're making it, be thinking about where your character's from, what's the story.
What we do with Outside In is provide a visual arts learning component to what is a more comprehensive art education program that includes dance and music. We both believe really strongly in providing access to populations that don't typically have access, because we know that the creative process can really have a positive impact on any person, but particularly those populations that are so marginalized and so unsupported. One of the things that Outside In, I think, really strives to do is work with kids on the inside and then try to continue to remain in contact with them once they're on the outside, to be a kind of bridge and help support their remembering that there are these alternative possibilities for themselves and their lives.
Actually been drawing since I was 13 years old. That's where I started off. Sculpting, I haven't really done sculpting. Well, I like art though. I want to go to college. After I get out of here, hopefully go to the Indian art school. I've been studying art, not in books and stuff, and just been drawing, expressing myself, how I feel. I actually got some art in my room, how I see it, like pain and hope. I'm already an artist. I could say that I'm an artist.
A lot of them never see each other doing anything beautiful. They see each other being really tough all the time. They're used to seeing their friends acting hard and acting cold. And that is completely acceptable to them, and it's completely normal. But to see them painting a picture of their mother, or to see them painting a picture of their son or their daughter who they've never seen, based on a photograph, which is the only scrap of memory that they have, it's the only evidence of their life that they have, that is very rare.
1, 2, and then the third one, we're like this?
Exactly. The third step, after you step on your left foot, you bring your feet together. Oh. So you're going to dance the moves, you're going to listen to the music, dance on the beat, and you're going to count the beats. I go first. To me, it's important that we don't forget people who are on the inside. So David's program was really a perfect way for me to continue this belief of the necessity of bringing arts into places where people are confined. Our mission isn't to teach them how to be professional dancers or artists or musicians. I think our main mission is to offer a space where people can learn in a safe environment. They can take these skills that they learn in these classes, getting up and trying something new, and learn how to have the confidence and trust in themselves to keep going, to not give up.
Yes, when I was 16 or 17, I think about 16, I started as a student, and it was part of my community service. And after I completed my community service, I just kept going to class. Then I started helping teach class, so now I'm a guitar instructor assistant. I've learned a lot, but it's also something that I can kind of give back to the community. Teaching, it's it's what I do on Saturday mornings.
The thing that I feel is that when you're working with something like the arts, in any of the arts, you learn how to learn. I've worked with students that have been sentenced through the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Native Americans, gang members who have come out of Springer who are Hispanic. I've worked with a lot of different folks, and it might be a world that they're influenced strongly by their peers, strongly by their society, and sometimes those things aren't necessarily positive. And once you get that thing of knowing within yourself that you have this power, anything's possible. And if it comes back to them in a dream, or if it comes back to them when they're playing guitar, or if it comes back to them when they turn 25 or 30, that's okay. And I think they understand that.
At last count, we feel like we've had a significant impact on close to 5,000 kids in the 10 years that we've been doing this.
When you get out, it's more about how do you communicate with people, how do you relate to other people. It doesn't matter if you're painting a mural or if you're just working at a clothing store. You need to have patience, you need to have attention to detail, you need to have respect for other people. You're not just learning how to mix paper and water and paint to make something. You're learning the patience and the dedication it takes to be able to do that.
C major 7 to F major 7.
Is just awe-inspiring. They're brilliant creators, and they absolutely need it, and they deserve as much access to it as they can possibly get, because I think it's a key to their survival.
Art is something I always wanted to do when I was growing up. I draw, I paint, make potteries. It's kind of like a learning experience for me. I'm just trying to get more into the details of art, so in the long run maybe I could do something with myself in the future, you know.